what do you think the campaign has achieved?
Well, I'd have to be honest and say that it hasn't achieved the first aim, which is debt write-down. But when we started off here, we didn't really know what we were doing. It took several months before we realised, that anything we were going to get done, we were going to have to do ourselves. So we became a campaign after a while, and I think we had two primary aims in the campaign. The first was to try and shine a light on what was happening, the wrong that was done to Ireland, expose the wrong that was done to Ireland, and the second aim was to right the wrong. And I think that with the march we have achieved the first element, because people at this stage I think are aware of the promissory note debt and aware of the wrong that was done to Ireland. And I'm not saying we did this on our own, but I think we did help to achieve that. But the second part, and this is why the campaign is not ended, the weekly marches ended, but the campaign is not. The second part is the bank debt write-off. And the bank inquiry threw up two things, I suppose, that were useful. Most of it was just a waste of time. The two things that were useful, one was that we now do know for certain, according to the bank inquiry anyway, but we knew it anyway, that our governments, successive governments, were bullied and blackmailed by the ECB, by Taoiseach in particular and the ECB. And secondly, we know also that according to the bank inquiry, we could have saved €9 billion if our government had the spine, the backbone to stand up to that blackmailing and that bullying. That was what we were campaigning against initially, the actual bondholders, the unsecured, unguaranteed bondholders. We reckon we could have saved more, but 9 billion is a huge sum, considerable sum. It's gone. It's water under the bridge. But what we are now fighting for, what we've focused on for the last 3 years, since 2013, are the promissory note debts. And of that €31 billion, okay, there's now €6 billion of that that's gone, but there's still 25 billion that's being held above in the central bank in the form of bonds. If they're sold, then that debt goes onto the shoulders of our kids and their grandkids, and that now has become the focus of this campaign, and that is what we will be focusing on in future. We're no longer alone, because with Joan Collins as our Supreme Court, the final day of it will be held on Tuesday. Hearing. Catherine Murphy is unearthing some very suspect dealings with SiteServe. Mick Wallace is unearthing some very suspect dealings with NAMA. So there's a whole, at this stage, there are a whole number of tributaries, if you like, that are leading down into the one flood. And I think that this flood, when it happens, is going to carry away with it the promissory note bonds, because when people do understand what has been happening here, I mean, what has been the kind of protest we've seen with the water charges would be dwarfed, I think, by the protest we've seen at that stage. Because Luke Ming is here today again, but he made a great saying a few years ago. He said, that people think that by knocking the head off a dandelion, you're killing it. You're not. You have to get down to the roots. And the water charges, okay, I think they're gone, they're history. But that money that they were trying to raise from the water charges, they will have now to try and raise in another way. Yeah. And it's all going into paying, a lot of it is going into paying off this bank debt. And it's an odious bank debt. And I think when people realise the depth of the wrong that was done to Ireland, I think then you'll see the streets here being hit. But this is not the last, it's the last weekly march in Ballyhea. It is not the last march. The last march will take place here when we get that bank debt right down.